It's saying we're live. There it is. Hey, Battle Fanatics. This is Paul Ash. You are watching BattleCOM, the Geek Orf comedy game shows. For those of you not familiar with BattleCOM, what BattleCOM is, it's a micro debate. It's a super fast debate. We're going to take two comedians at a time. They're going to punch each other in the face with jokes over items of geek import. And the audience, you guys, it's actually for who you think most entertaining. You don't vote for right. Because it's not about being right, it's about being entertaining. So if you are just tuning in, you can watch us. Well, you're probably watching us on YouTube or on Twitter, on Twitch, or on Facebook. Just type in comment section, say where you're watching from. And I don't know how badly auto-tuned I currently sound, but we will find that out very shortly. Let's get a chance to meet everybody. Please and thank you. Our battlers tonight are going to be AC Valiante. He was the battler's choice from last week. He is showing up. We also Toronto. Are you in Toronto right now, Cliff? Cliff, you in Toronto? Where are you from right now?
I'm in Toronto right now.
He's in Toronto right now. So Clif Knight. We also have Scotty Mars broadcasting from the wonderful place of Halifax, and AJ Young from Montreal. I'm Paul Ash, and Erica Taddeo is my stage manager. We're both in Montreal as well as AC Valiante. So I think it's about time to get started. And how this... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, but I was just going to say, before we start, can you bust into share, I believe in love or something like that?
Please do. We know you know the words.
I even have the outfit. But I don't think I have the time. This is how we get started. Everybody, there is when we do these battles, the battles are three. It's the best two winners of the rounds. So positive round, they have to be positive with their choice in the battlefield. Second round, they get to be negative about their opponent's choice that they've just heard. And if it goes to a third round, it's a free-for-all where they get a chance to be positive, negative, just be entertaining, or personal attack, first attack on opponent, but not physical, because social distancing. So Erica Taddeo is our wonderful state manager, and let's find out what our battlefields are. Our first battlefield is what's the worst moral that can be derived from a specific child's story? Who is the best MCU character? And if you had a time machine, when would you go? So the first battlefield is what's the worst moral that can be derived from a children's story. We want to say hello to Denis Leger, one of our regulars who's tuning in from Montreal. Welcome, Denis.
Hello again.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
And I'm trying to click on because trying to click that on the same. There you go. So we can uncover Cliff and AJ. And so our first battlers are going to be Scotty Mars with his choice of the tortoise and the hare, as he faces off against AJ Young with his choice of Hansel and Gretel. Second to the screen is AJ Young. So AJ, you get to go first with a positive round. Positive about your choice.
Absolutely. So I'll keep it extremely simple. The worst possible moral you can take away from Hansel and Gretel is old people are terrifying. Even when they're trying to even when they're trying to feed you and take care of you, they're just fattening you up to eat you. Old people are terrifying.
There we go. Old people are terrifying. That is the moral to take away from Hansel and Gretel. With the positive about his choice about the tortoise and the hare, here's Scotty Mars.
Well, I mean, the tortoise and the hare, the moral is slow and steady wins the race. We live in the age of nonstop information, internet, all that kind of stuff. You cannot be slow and win anything now. So it's a terrible lesson for children to learn.
Okay, the hashtags are up. Scotty is definitely coming out of the gate. So let's find out what you think of these battle joke arguments. Again, it's not about who's right. It's about who's most entertaining. So put your votes up. You can start spamming the comments on YouTube and Twitch. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can just like the hashtag comments that are currently in the chat field. So you like that, and Eric will be counting those up so we can get the lowdown on that. And currently we have Tim Rowcliffe is here. Hey, Tim, how's it going? He was
Tim.
actually our special guest on the Battle Report last Tuesday. So who's there? And Tim's telling me I'm really modulated.
Yes, you are. So actually,
oh.
Paul, if I can interrupt real quick, anyone who is not fluent in robot, Paul explained how you can vote. So depending on who you want to vote for, Scotty or AJ, if you're watching on Periscope for some reason, or YouTube or Twitch, just go ahead and just put those hashtags in, write the name of the comic you'd like to vote for. If you're voting on Facebook, we already have comments up with each comic's name and pause, short for positive. So you can just go ahead and click like on the comment of whoever you want to vote for. Facebook liking doesn't work at the
POS
time.
is.
Thank you for letting us know. How does it not? You thought?
I thought the person who wrote AJPOS wrote like I thought it was AJ piece of shit. I was like, all right, I'll take that. I guess.
Yeah, I was feeling good for a second.
We're off to a great start today.
I will reserve my opinions about you guys.
Erica, could you test that on Facebook, just in case Denny is in the same neighborhood as me and just has bad internet right now?
I am testing that, and it looks like it is working, at least for me. So I think we're okay. Fingers crossed. Are these the fingers I usually cross? I'm not really sure. I'm too clumsy for this.
Okay. I'm crossing my toes at this time because my fingers are trying to figure out what's wrong with my connection. There is, right. So looking at here, AJ is in the lead. How does it look on Facebook, Erica?
Now it looks like, so I had no, oh, wait. You know what? It's tied. We've got one vote for AJ, and our friend Denis, since he couldn't, since he was not able to
in the chat.
like votings, he typed in a vote for Scotty, so we're tied.
Okay, I know that we are jumping into battles right away, so there's not as many people on as normally would be on as of yet. So please, as soon as you get in, you can start your votes.
Just throw down a free vote for someone.
I'm glad to see my e-transfer got to Denny.
All right. Yep. And Tim Rowcliffe just wants to clarify, as a kid who grew up on a farm, a POS is the P is for pile, not piece of.
Okay.
At least,
I'll take either.
you're more shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, unless one of them is a pile and one of them is a P.
Yeah.
I don't know. So like vote for whoever you think whichever one is. Go for it.
All right, I think we're gonna have to call that one too close to call. So no points are awarded. Normally, the winner of the round would be a red ball of awesome. No red ball of awesome has been awarded for this round. We will move on to the negative. Negative. So Scotty, you get to go first. Negative about AJ Young's choice of Hansel and Gretel.
Well, I mean, Hansel and Gretel is a great tale for children, and you're sitting there saying like, "Oh, it's because it says old people are scary," and they are. Have you seen them? They wander around, like they are the closest thing we have on the planet to zombies is old people. They just wander around, and now with the COVID, they're the COVID carriers. So I mean, just no old. That is the lesson. Hansel and Gretel should be taught daily because of that.
AJ, it's now your turn to be negative about Slow and Steady wins the race.
Okay. I think it's a perfectly valuable lesson to this day, as because we're living in the sophisticated future tech age of infinite information, I think it's perfectly viable to slow down, take your time, and win a race by not trying very hard.
All right, there we go. The hashtags are coming up now, so it's either Scotty negative or AJ negative. So you can like them in Facebook. Here we go, and they are up as of now. So they are on Facebook, so you can like them there. Or you can start spamming in the names in the comments. And yeah, everything. Periscope is Twitter. So for those of you viewing on Twitter, thank you and welcome very much. This is the first time we've got this going. Actually, no, it's the second time we've had it going with Twitter. So we're hoping. And we've got a vote for Scoot. Scoot is going to get.
I'm assuming that's me.
I'm assuming as well. But Erica is the scorekeeper. So yeah, Scoot kind of is the opposite of Bob moving quickly. And then this is the Facebook will work now. Everybody is flickering to a black screen. I'm not sure if I'm the only person seeing that. They go to a black screen, then they come back, and it's like a very slow stroke as it makes its way around.
Oh, Paul, that's just your age.
Okay, all right, there we go. Clif Knight is giving us an example of a 3D movie from the 50s, just zooming into the camera. All right, so let's see. Erica, how are the votes standing at this point in time?
Facebook right now is tied. We've got 1 vote for Scotty and 1 vote for AJ. Oh, sorry.
We're both
1
ahead.
vote for Scoot and 1 vote for AJ.
Yes.
That's your name now. I'm sorry.
Okay, so is that on Facebook?
That is on Facebook. Let me check.
Okay.
What have we got going on
So
in the comments?
Scotty has won.
Yes, it
you
does.
can pass votes for Scotty. Scotty has gotten the first red ball of awesome. Now, we had no points on the positive round. The negative round has gone to Scotty. That means we have a free-for-all round. Free-for-all round gives the performers a chance to be positive about their own choice, negative about the other person's choice, or to attack our opponent, or just be entertaining. This is a show. It's supposed to be entertaining. AJ, because you lost that round, you get to go first on the free-for-all round.
I appreciate the punch in the gut reminding me I lost that round. I think Hansel and Gretel is a great story to teach children, just like my opponent said, which, to be honest, I didn't expect him to completely agree with me and take my second point. But from there, I'll just say children should always fear the elderly in every situation.
And Scotty.
Oh, look at that tennis ball. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to just reiterate my point about how slow and steady wins the race is a terrible lesson for children. I mean, in today's world, you have to move at a pace that is fueled by cocaine and Red Bull. And if you're not working on that combo, you're screwed. Like, think about it. In that story, the hare is an ass. He mocks the tortoise. Think about your boss. He's an ass. Why? Because he's fast. He doesn't sit around and wait. He moves. And that's what you have to do nowadays.
All right.
I'm really relying on my slow and steady answers.
So let's bring the votes up. The hashtags are up, so you can vote for either AJ F for A or hashtag Scotty F for A. And that will be the free-for-all round, so we can determine who is the winner of this round. Currently, Scotty is 1 point in the lead. AJ is trailing, and we will be bringing it up.
All right, so Paul, it looks like your audio is still coming in a little bit weird. So I don't know. Anyone else who's watching this, please feel free to post in the comments if Paul sounds weird to you, because I mean,
because I need that.
To tell
You mean more than normal?
More than normal.
We need clarification. That's all.
If he sounds like weird, just on top of his trying to hide that maritime accent, but we all know it's there.
Like a drowning Fraggle Rock thing, time, as opposed to normal. Okay.
And Tim Rocliffe agrees with Scotty because you called his boss an ass. You don't work for your wife, Tim. Just cocaine. That came from NASA. Welcome, Sean. It's good seeing you tuning in again.
Good to see you again, Sean.
And now,
hey, Sean.
We've got a communication happening between the performers. That's the wrong Tim.
Wrong
Tim. That's Tim Rocliffe, not Tim Rial. And Evelyn, welcome, Evelyn. It's good to see you, or well, hear you again. I guess I don't know if we're hearing or seeing at this point in time. How are the votes looking?
So right now, Facebook is again tied.
But we have to vote for Scotty on YouTube. So YouTube means that Scotty has won the round. Thank you very much, AJ,
All right.
for the first round. But you have been defeated, Scotty. Yeah, you've been screwed by YouTube. And we are now moving on to the next two battlers. Where can I show that screen? There it is.
All right.
The next two battlers are going to be Clif Knight with his choice of Rumpelstiltskin, facing against AC Valiante with the tale of Subi Caspar. AC, you get to go first on that, and we're probably going to learn about the tale of Subi Caspar, I think.
So I had to dig a little deep to find this one. But I just have to say the Germans are really amazing at coming up with like the worst morals for kids stories. And basically the moral of this story is if you don't eat soup, you'll starve to death. And I wish I was making this up, but I got to show you an actual screenshot of the book where I found this. So let me show you what the story kind of looks like. Share screen. Share. 1 second. Okay, do you guys see that? Yeah.
Not yet. I can add it now. There we go.
So you see this picture?
Oh.
Okay. So basically, starts off with a regular kid, doesn't want to eat the soup, still doesn't want to eat the soup, still doesn't want to eat the soup, starves to death, gets buried with the soup.
Straight to the point.
So, I mean, soup. Soup sucks. Okay, like soup. Kids don't like eating soup. Kids don't want to come back from school after a long day of studying hard, and like, it's like, man, I had a long day. I'm just gonna have a nice bowl of soup. Like, no, kids want Pop-Tarts and like fruit roll-ups and shit like that. So yeah. Anyway. Totally ridiculous. I rest my case.
Okay. And we've got a scientist have commented on my audio. And Paul's audio is training from the moon. He also has
right now is making it even better.
Yeah.
And now it's Clif Knight being positive about Rumpelstiltskin.
Okay, so you guys might not know, Rumpelstiltskin is a tale where a miller says that his daughter can spin straw into gold. The king takes her, locks her up, and says, you gotta spin it into gold. And the goblin guy comes and he does it for her. Basically, at the end, she promised him her firstborn, and he's like, oh, you don't have to give me your firstborn if you know my name. And she sends a peasant out in the woods who finds out the name and brings it back to her. That is the worst moral. Basically, all they're saying is lie your ass off repeatedly, keep making deals, and then renege at the last moment. That's all they're teaching you right there. That's the worst.
Vote. See your votes. The hashtags are up. Vote. This is wow. That one has such modern implications. Let's see. So it's
right?
hashtag ACP or hashtag ClifP. Please note that Clif only has one F in Clif. I'm not misspelling it.
If they spell it wrong, then I get 2 votes. That's how that works.
The way you count it, yes, but unfortunately, it's only how Eric counts it that really matters.
I mean, it's a Rumpelstiltskin lesson, so you know what? He's just being on brand. AC for visual aids. AC's gonna vote already. How's it looking over in Facebook land? So far, we have 1 vote came in, and it is for Clif.
Okay, well, look, we've got people watching, and we've got votes. You saw it happen in America. Not everyone voted. Make sure you vote. We got another vote for AC.
Oh, yeah. Facebook just tied up. So we are.
And we got a third vote for AC. AC is keeping the creep ahead. We just lost AJ. I hope he wasn't using his phone without having it plugged in.
Oh boy.
We'll see if we can get AJ back for the next round. There.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
hey, it
looks
looks
like
like
he's coming
AJ is coming back.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped out for a second. I know how to get back in if it happens.
All right. I'm going to be late for AJ unless things have changed over in Facebook land.
All right. I'm assuming you just asked me about votes on Facebook, so I am going to tell you that we are still tied.
Oh, there's 3 for Clif on Facebook.
No, they are. Sorry, Facebook itself is tied. So we've got a vote for Clif and a vote for AC. So if you do the math, and we've got 3 votes for AC on YouTube, I think that means we can call it for AC. Congratulations, you won the positive round, which means
that Clif goes on the negative round. Oh my goodness, we just got a vote in on Twitch as well.
yes.
But that was for AC, so that brings it up. Clif, you can go first on the negative round. You get to be negative about the tale of Soupy Caspar.
Okay, so I don't see how this is a bad moral. Like, the Germans are just trying to tell their kids, you have to eat whatever it is that I have to give you. Especially when it's from all those grim fairy tales are from, like, the 1400s. If your parents can't afford bratwurst, eat your damn soup. That's just a good lesson, I think.
And I think Erica and I are both trying to. I'll let Erica control the screen. There we go. We also did get a yay for German Tales, and it's now AC Valiante's time to go for the negative round. Negative about Rumpelstiltskin.
Okay. So I just want to say, like, Rumpelstiltskin was a really important story to me in my childhood, and like, I'm hurt that you would take it this way. I'm hurt that you don't believe in the importance of being afraid of little German men. I mean, Rumpelstiltskin is the stuff of nightmares, and it makes sense that you should be scared of him. So, I mean, I don't think it's as bad. I don't think it's as bad as you say it is.
I want to point out that little German men made AJ run away. Let's see the votes. The hashtags are up. The hashtags are up. So we got a vote in for Clif on the negative round.
We've also got just a couple of requests. Paul, if you'd like to sing, I don't know how Daisy Daisy goes, but I'm sure it would sound really great. We've also got another Cher reference. So I think before the show's over, Paul, we might need to figure out if we can get the rights to that song, because it might be worth it.
I'm not sure I can take another copyright hit on my channel. Sony. All right. We're seeing a lot of Clif votes coming in. Clif with 1 F.
Let's see. You know what? Facebook looks like it does not have a. Right now, I have no votes coming in on Facebook yet, but it also looks like we're missing a comment to vote for AC. Is that possible?
I will try putting it up again.
All right.
That is possible, and it should be there now. Is it there now?
Let's see. Yes, it is. Ooh, and we just got 2 votes in for AC.
Tight.
I told you, soup sucks.
Well, yeah, hold it. AC, you're saying that when your photo is you eating like a 17-pound bowl of ramen?
But that's not any soup. That's ramen. Okay, that's a very different kind of dish.
It's not food.
It's still a soup. All right, so that means that we've got 1, 2, 3 votes for Clif, and we were at 2 votes for AC. Oh, but with this comes to 3 votes for AC. So if anyone else wants to get their votes in real quick because right now we are tied. And that is very exciting.
I'm just watching the carnage.
Just watching the carnage. All right. You know what? We are going to turn that into a fun hashtag because why not?
I agree.
Hang on, I misspelled carnage. I wrote cleanage.
At least it wasn't cabbage.
And there's no, it's watching. There's not, I don't know if there's been a G or an apostrophe in there.
You can't put apostrophe.
Ramen is not soup, it's home. But if you use it as a building material, your host will get soggy, Evelyn. There is, all right. I think we're going to have to call that, Erica, if there's been more votes come in.
All right, let's just recheck the votes real quick. And looks like it's the same. So I think we're still tied. Does that mean it's too close to call?
I see three votes for Cliff on YouTube,
and we've got 3 votes for AC on Facebook, so that's a tie.
We're moving over to a free-for-all round. AC, you get to go first on the free-for-all round, as no points are awarded.
Okay, so I just want to stress on how abusive parents have to be to literally watch their child starve to death, rather than giving them something other than soup to eat. I mean, it just makes me wonder, like, how bad is the soup? Like, I don't know much about German cuisine, but I never heard German soup was good. Like, I mean, bad enough for a child to want to starve to death. And then on top of that, they buried the poor child with the soup. I don't think that's fair. And, you know, like, I've been trying to lose weight, okay? I haven't eaten a soup in, like, years, but look at me, you know?
All right, Cliff, your free-for-all round is positive, negative, just be entertaining, or personal upon your opponent, AC.
Okay, so I don't know. It feels like German parents are just a little bit ahead of the curve on the intermittent fasting game. You know, like I think they were trying to go, you know, they were trying to instill in all of their children, you know, this kind of like fitness regimen. So if you got to do like soups are just salty smoothies, okay? So you need to rethink how it is that you approach nutrition, you know, in Germany in the 1600s. I think they're futuristic, man. I don't know why you have such a hate on for soup. I'm just saying.
Let's see your votes. Get your votes in. The hashtags are up. This hashtag doesn't have a hashtag on it, but it is there. You can vote, use it by liking that statement on Facebook. And I know I'm deeply robotic at this point. I'm not sure if it's really helpful or not helpful, but this could be very creepy. But please get your votes in.
It is extremely creepy. Please get your votes in so he stops.
I think I heard like every 5th syllable.
By the way, we have news from AJ. He's just having some minor technical issues, but he'll be back as soon as he can. So in the meantime, we miss you, AJ.
I feel bad. I feel like that was my beatdown of
It
him.
probably was.
I feel bad.
Oh, we get a vote for AC.
All right. Looks like Facebook, we've got
And
2 votes for AC.
Yes.
And we all vote for Cliff. Cliff French onion soup with a straw from a bubble tea joint.
That sounds terrible.
I mean,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
if you believe that soups are just salty smoothies, he's not that far off. But it does sound really like I wouldn't eat it or drink it.
Oh, Cliff is pulling ahead on YouTube.
All right, let's see. AC is leading by 2 votes on Facebook.
And Cliff is leading by 2 on YouTube. We can't have that.
Yeah.
We're going to have a second free-for-all round. We're going to have a second free-for-all round. What this is going to mean. And if you, as the audience, if you cannot get this together and pick a solid winner, what's going to happen is Erica is going to be the person to choose who wins.
Please don't make me choose.
So
I'm bad
don't
at
leave it
making
up.
decisions.
She got pineapple and she's used it as a person. So we're going on for a
Pineapple gang. Pineapple gang.
AC is a little worried that there's a little bit of favoritism being shown. Clif Knight,
I
you
watched
get to go
SpongeBob.
on
Does that count?
Yeah, it's okay. We were talking about pineapples earlier. It's cool. You're still my pineapple, bro.
All right.
All right, Cliff, you get to go first on the free round, so you can be positive, negative, just be entertaining, a personal attack upon your opponent.
Okay, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Like, yes, we are afraid of little green men from Germany, but a lot of people really love little blue men from America. So it kind of feels like you're being a little bit colorist right now if you're being too scared of them. You know, the bad moral is just like the guy who never gets punished in all this is the miller, the person who told the first lie about his daughter being able to spin gold. That guy should be the one who gets taken away by the little green men, but they're going after the firstborn. It's not fair, and I don't like it.
There we go. That's a Cliff's argument, and we now get to hear from AC.
Okay, so I mean that was a good point, but Cliff, you were talking about intermittent fasting, right? And I'm all for intermittent fasting, but we're not talking about intermittent fasting here. We're talking about permanent fasting, and I mean, it's not fair, man. Poor child. Like, give him literally anything other than soup, you know. Anyway.
The hashtags are up, and we gotta face it. The parents didn't like the soup enough to keep after the kid died. They buried it with him. So the hashtags are up, and Jess Sorrell is tuned in all the way from Australia. She's watching in the morning saying, "Hi, Ace, Cliff, and Scotty." No love for AJ, but that's because he's MIA right now. So we got to vote for Cliff coming in on YouTube. Get your hashtags up and in on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Yeah, get your votes in. We know that you have opinions about soup. Put them in the comments.
Soup and basically millennials, because I'm sorry that's I should shut up so I don't step on anyone's jokes.
Yeah, you over there.
On YouTube at this point in time, Cliff is ahead on the non-Facebook.
Let me see.
How are we looking?
So far, only one vote has come in on Facebook, and it's for AC, which means that we are tied again.
Erica, that means.
Let's just talk about how soup rules, you guys. Or let's discuss the rules of soup.
Doesn't it?
On Facebook, did Denny's vote show up in the likes?
It did not, which means that now we've got one for Cliff and one for AC on Facebook.
Is stew soup?
No.
No. I'd say no. I feel like that's kind of like how people ask, is a hot dog a sandwich? Like, it's not, but people can make arguments for what it is, even though like it's wrong.
I agree with that, but I could argue that it is a sandwich. There is
a hot
bread
dog
and
is
meat
not
involved.
a sandwich. I'm not having this conversation with you today.
Is a hamburger a sandwich?
Yes. A hot dog is at best a taco.
What? You can't be all hot dog's not a sandwich and hamburger is.
A hamburger has a bottom
It's
bread,
a warped worldview.
and then a top bread.
On the anything that's not Facebook. How is it in Facebook? Sean Griffin is want to ask: is ketchup a smoothie?
Yes.
There's more sugar. No, it's got too much sugar to actually be a smoothie.
What was V8, guys? Tell me, what was V8? Okay.
Less thick ketchup.
Would you dip your fries in V8?
Yeah.
In a pinch?
Oh. All right. I have to admit, I've known Scotty for a very long time. I've seen him dip his fries in a Wendy's Frosty.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right.
That's a
I will
regular.
dip my fries in there. Well, I don't anymore, but I dip my
Oh.
fries in there. I dip my chicken fingers in there. I
Oh,
will
that's
dip
terrible.
my burger in there. A Wendy's Frosty is like the greatest condiment ever.
Mm-mm.
I also want to point out I don't think you addressed this on your podcast, Scotty, but the Scotty Mars show podcast. Scotty actually went through a huge life transformation
It's
at
still
your heaviest,
attached. What are you talking about?
Still attached. Yeah, your life is still there. Not that. We weren't talking about transition. At your heaviest, where were you at?
325.
And jogging and all that wonderful stuff.
What was that?
What are you currently?
Currently like 210, but lowest was 185. But I looked like really unhealthy. Like it wasn't good.
You lost an Erica.
Apparently, yes.
You don't ask a woman her weight because she's probably going to lie about it. Okay. That is one thing we learned
Clif,
from Michael.
Clif is ahead by 2. How is he on Facebook?
Right now, let me tell you that I did actually count all the votes, and so Facebook is still tied. We've got one for AC and one for Clif. But if we count all the votes, that means that Clif is ahead in this round. Unfortunately, what that means is that Clif has won 1 round, and AC has won 1 round. So, Paul, what do we do in that situation?
I'm going to the stage manager. Are we going to actually do a third free-for-all round? This is unprecedented in the live version of the show. In the online version of the show. I'm putting the onus on you.
Okay. Man. You know, I gotta say, there have been some excellent points made on both sides. I'm gonna give it to Clif just because he had a couple more quotables, and I want to see what he's gonna bring in the next round. So, congratulations, Clif, and I'm sorry, AC. I feel really bad.
Damn it, I have more
okay.
written for AC.
Scotty, I have a question. I have a question for you, Scotty. So, did you lose the weight because of soup? Like,
No.
soup involved?
No, I'm not a soup fan.
Okay, I figured.
No, it's soup played no part in it whatsoever. Whether putting it on or taking it off, soup was not a factor in any of it.
Prodigal Son has returned.
AJ.
This is actually Clif Knight and Scotty Mars' first time doing the online version of BattleCOM. And this is Clif's very first time doing BattleCOM. Scotty did it for the first time. What was that? 2014?
Something like that. Ottawa Comic Con. And I was unprepared.
So,
much like tonight.
And the confidence of Scotty is speaking up. And that's because Scotty has to go first on the positive round. Just as a reminder, that Scotty's choice is the tortoise there. So Scotty, you can be positive, but the tortoise in there, slow steady, wins the race.
Alrighty, so the moral of slow and steady wins the race is absolutely terrible for children in today's day and age. And as I mentioned earlier, the hare that loses that race is an ass. And if you think about your boss, he's an ass. Think about the assholes of the world. They run it. They run the world. They get to do all the fun stuff. And in the story, the hare takes a nap. That's what they get to do. That's what your boss does. Halfway through the day, he's napping in there. While all of us little worker tortoises, we're scrounging for scraps. And the hares, they're just laughing at us. So you got to speed up if you want to win.
Okay, Clif. Let's see how speedy you can get your answer out. This is the positive round.
For Rumpelstiltskin, I just have to let you know, nothing is much more of a terrible, moral for kids today than just lie your ass off, make whatever the deal it has to be done, and then when people come and knock in to collect, just tell them you ain't got it. I think that's what created the political climate in the States. So, no thank you.
Dropping a bit of a truth bomb. Let's see if it's going to win. Hashtags are up. Vote.
In case you didn't hear Paul, he said vote. Vote.
I thought he said.
He did his best impersonation of a robot Swedish chef.
I thought I heard Boo Earns.
An adult. He's an adult robot from Charlie Brown.
Hey, rabbit soup is good.
Puns. So by the way, it's voting round in case anyone is just tuning in. You can, if you're watching us on Periscope, Twitch, or YouTube, you can just go ahead and put in the hashtag with the name of the comic that you'd like to vote for, Scotty or Cliff. Scotty with a Y, Cliff with one F. If you're watching on Facebook, we've got comments up with their names, and all you got to do is click like on that comment.
And currently, it looks like Cliff is in the lead.
Is Facebook right now is tied. We've got a vote for Scotty and a vote for Cliff.
So that looks like it's going to be going to Cliff, as he has a rather commanding lead on the other platforms.
All right.
First point.
So we'll move on to the negative round. And Paul, who goes first in the negative round? Would it be Scotty? It's Scotty. All right.
Well, I mean, I'd like to thank Cliff for making my point for me. I mean, he said, oh, like lying and cutting deals and everything. That's how we got to the political state that we're in now. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I mean, kids should have aspirations to lead and get into politics. And obviously, lying, cheating, going back on what you say, that's how you become president. That's how you win. A great man once said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
All right.
And Cliff, your negative round.
I gotta be negative about the tortoise in here. This is easy. Let me tell you why. Okay, someone put it in the comments already. Hare soup is delicious. Look at how many things are out to eat the hare. You got foxes, you got eagles, you got humans. Not a whole lot of people are really coming up on tortoises, because you got that hard shell so that we can move slow and stay protected. If you want to go fast, hit the highway. But if you want to stay alive, hit the sideways on the slow one. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
There we go. Welcome after chat. He's on chat for the first time. Sorry for I'm being modulated here. And facts are true. Hold on, Scotty.
Yes. All right.
And
I didn't realize I didn't realize joke police were coming.
They're regularly here at BattleCOM.
And you don't have to yell.
I didn't write that one. Paul did.
Apparently, I'm asking Dave if he's having a good day.
How, Ash? How did none of us think of that? Man. Anyways, get your votes in. All right, so quick update on Facebook. Looks like, Facebook just tied up. We've got a vote for Cliff and a vote for Scotty. Let's see how things
And we are tied on the other platform.
All right, everyone, get your votes in.
Look, we're almost an hour in, and we're only at the first battle. We've got to stop these ties. You people have to vote decisively.
Come on, guys, get your votes in real quick. Get your votes in while we ask AJ. AJ, is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes or no?
No.
Thank you.
Is a hamburger a sandwich?
Yeah.
What the hell? It's got to be a Quebec thing.
Why would a hamburger be a sandwich?
It's because you put mayonnaise on sandwiches. You don't put mayonnaise on hot dogs.
Okay, wait, hang on a second. When you order,
I don't put it on there, but they give it to me at the ballpark.
When you order a burger, if you don't get the combo, they ask you just the sandwich. There's my reason.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Nice.
Yes.
I got a question. What does that make the double down?
An abomination.
An abomination?
An abomination.
Yeah.
A heart attack in your hand.
I mean, like, it's got the structure of a sandwich, but it's meat and cheese. Like,
only.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. They should have just to mess with everyone, they should have just stuck a piece of bread or like a biscuit in the middle of it, in between the two chickens. Like, there's not enough carb in it.
Erica, what's the votes on Facebook?
All right, Facebook is still tied up.
Then this is too close to call on that one. No points have been awarded.
Ooh.
Going to this is the one you need to be positive about your choice, negative about your bonus roast attack upon your opponent. Just keep it non-physical because we are socially distancing. And Scotty, no, actually, Cliff, you're going first this time.
Okay, Scotty's point makes sense. Yeah, you got to keep it going to, be able to survive in our world. But let me tell you about all of the people that we all know and are in the news that are on cocaine and Red Bull and that graduate to meth and graduate to jet fuel or something. And before you know it, they're burning down the World Trade Center. I don't want kids to do that. Thank you. I'm running for president.
Here we are in Florida. If you're listening, I think Scotty, you get to go first. Or second.
Okay. First off, I like to keep up on the news, but I missed the talk screening on the World Trade Center people. So I mean, that's news to me that they were on coke and Red Bull. But anyway, swore CNN would have covered that. Anyway, but the point of your thing is, that the lies are bad and dealing is bad and all that. You know what? You're not wrong. But if I remember correctly, Rumpelstiltskin is a German tale, if I remember correctly. Now, they do not have the best track record of how they treat their people. And I'm just saying, maybe it is a good lesson for a German child to learn that you should lie and cheat. It's the only way you're going to live.
All right, the hashtags are up. Get your votes in. While the votes are coming in, let's take a look at some of this old comments. Is a sausage on a bun a sandwich?
If you cut it, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But only if a knife is involved?
Yes, I'd say, because so Jessica Sorrell, if you're still watching this, please comment. A sausage sizzle would basically count as a hot dog. For anyone who hasn't been to Australia, they do this thing where they just grill sausages on the barbecue because it's Australia and they like to barbecue things. And then they just put it in a slice of white bread. And then they have different but delicious ketchups and mustards that you can put on it. But it's just in a piece of bread. I still don't think that that's a sandwich though. That's still just a modified hot dog. Anyways, now you guys know about Australian sausages.
Here's a good one for you. At a fast food place in the States, In-N-Out Burger, you can get a hamburger just with 2 pieces of lettuce, as opposed to it's that
a lettuce wrap.
Yeah, but they make it like a burger, like piece of lettuce, meat, lettuce.
You can get that here.
Yeah, you can get that in places.
That sounds like a sad burger, not a hamburger.
It's for rabbits, I believe.
It's a hamburger for people who cannot digest gluten, and
yes,
you know
for
what?
Non-gluten people.
Their lives are hard enough. We shouldn't judge them.
So is a quesadilla a grilled cheese?
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes. It is
In-N-Out, yeah. In-N-Out is super solid.
I haven't been to In-N-Out, but I'll trust you guys on that. I have been to one of those other American chains that everyone said was super good, and it wasn't. So
Which one?
Which one was it?
Name it.
Shake Shack. Was not a fan.
Shake Shack.
Oh,
Shake Shack is actually boss. Only if you buy beer with your sandwich.
Okay.
Doesn't work with the shake, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I was sober. Maybe that was the problem.
In-N-Out, I mean, listen, they reference In-N-Out in The Big Lebowski, so that means it has to be good. Right? It's like...
If it's good enough for the dude.
Exactly.
And a brisket between 2 chickens, yes, please.
Oh, I said brisket, but you know what? I like that better. Thank you for the suggestion.
Don't give Texans any ideas. They will do that.
Emily's had Griffin.
Yes.
And In-N-Out animal style. Steak and Shake. We're getting we're getting a lot of comments. We actually even have a vote for Shake Shack.
We do. Sorry, I derailed, but we need your votes. People have been voting on Facebook. We've got Clif is leading on Facebook. And we've got a quick update.
Is leading the other comments as well.
Yeah. Nice. Quick update from AJ. He's having technical issues again. So we're going to try and get him back on. Not really sure what to do at this point. Sorry, I should sound like I have the answers, but maybe I will eventually.
We're going to give time to get we're going to now, at this point in time, crown Clif as the winner of the round.
Shenanigans.
Clif has won the round, and it only took 1,700 battles to do. So Clif, with his choice of Rumpelstiltskin, did not anyone else think of the fact that it is the Miller's daughter's child was actually now technically a millennial because they have to pay for the crimes of their parents.
Boom.
Oh,
I would bite my tongue that one, but I'll drop that later.
The firstborn's mother would not be called a boomer; she'd be called a loomer. Okay, just so you know.
oh.
It is. It has been said. We're going to move on to the next round. Unless anyone who's watching, if you want to start mentioning in the comments what you think would have been a worse moral and a children's story that would have come from, as we move forward slightly. And slightly, I'm saying slightly. I'm hoping we can move forward. And we're going to go with the best cinematic universe character. And our first
Not a
battle is
typo.
going to be AC Valiante with his choice of the Hulk, facing off against Scotty Mars with his choice of Stan Lee. I tried to get pictures of all of Stan Lee's appearances, but that's not. I don't think that is quite all of them. But yeah, Erica's studying that picture intently. And Scotty, this means you go first on the positive round.
Well, I mean, I can sum this up in really 1 second. Why is Stan Lee the best MCU character? Without him, there is no MCU. So, put that in your giant green pipe and smoke it.
There we go. I think there was a mic drop moment. Here we are with AC with his choice of the Hulk.
Well, I mean, I just want to say that the Hulk is like the strongest Avenger, but he also has like the best redemption arc in the entire MCU. He went from a terrible, terrible movie, Hulk, to like the masterpiece of the Avengers. So, and another thing is he has the greatest superpower of all. He's played by Mark Ruffalo.
All right, the hashtags are up. Vote.
Paul, we were able to hear you loud and clear on that one. Oh man, it is so nice to hear your voice again.
Oh my goodness, does that mean my neighborhood is now not on the horrible Wi-Fi? Not
No,
the
you're
Wi-Fi,
back.
horrible internet?
Now you're back.
No,
No,
I
I've gone-
think we're good.
back.
I'm just worried about your typos because it looks like on Facebook you wrote Scotty F instead of Scotty P. And also,
that could be a stroke.
also you
and-
wrote Mavel instead of Marvel. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I have to point out typos when I see them. It is a major character flaw.
Tim Earlcliff wanted to point out about Little Red Riding Hood. Could you read that, Erica?
Of course. Little Red Riding Hood's moral is if you want to live, Grandma needs to have a woodsman coming over for a visit. I'm so glad my mom is not watching this. All right, you know
As
what?
said by our scientist.
Well, that's a disqualified vote. He's got a vested interest. The guy's trying to become the Hulk himself. Come on.
And let's see the votes on Facebook. Erica.
Facebook is looking like AC is in the lead with 2 votes. We got some Hulk fans,
AC.
or we got some AC fans.
Strong and pretty. He has got the first point.
The best green
for this
superhero.
one. Are you talking about the first movie?
I'm talking. Listen, without this movie, there is no Deadpool. Just think about that.
All right, we'll give you that.
It's funny that he was okay with a completely CGI character when the CGI suit didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
I mean,
that kid who was acting as Colossus in the other movies was awesome, and they offered him the role, but voiced only. And he said, "No, if I'm going to be in the movie, I want to be physically in the movie." So, little bites that I'm taking. Well, so that has been a point AC. That means Scotty, you're going first on the negative round.
Alrighty. Well, I right away need to shoot a hole in AC's argument, and I hate to do this and be so technically nerdy, but I believe that you said that Hulk has the best redemption arc because he went from a terrible movie in the Hulk to what he became in the Avengers, and unfortunately, the Hulk film, not part of the MCU. The Incredible Hulk film, part of the MCU, but the Ang Lee Hulk film has nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, therefore negating his redemption arc that you so wonderfully laid out for us.
I think even I'm going to have to call facts aren't jokes on that one. But that was definitely some strong facts that we're throwing around. Let's see if that is enough to give Scotty the win, though. AC, this might be just yours to lose. Here we go, AC, on the negative round.
So, I mean, okay, sure. All right. I'll concede that maybe it's not part of the MCU technically. But like, you chose Stan Lee. Okay. Stan Lee's a great guy. He seems like he was really nice, but he doesn't have any superpowers. He's old. Also, he's dead. Like, hate to break it to you, buddy, but he ain't gonna cut it against the Hulk.
All right, Sean is saying Scotty playing some vulnerable technically right on that one. So maybe he will get the mind meld with the crowd to get the votes. But we're looking for your votes now. So it's Scotty N for negative or hashtag ACN. Let's see your votes. Bring on the votes.
Ooh. This is an extremely true comment. I would say facts aren't jokes, but just facts.
Facts are sad. Let's see the votes coming up.
Get your votes in. Facebook is currently tied. Also, let us know which Marvel character you think would call a hot dog a sandwich.
Thor.
And
Thor, for
and
sure.
AC is in the. Oh no, that is Facebook. We're waiting for this to come in. Let me see.
Yes. Bow to my will.
Reluctant votes are the best kind of votes.
Remember, you're voting for not who technically, right, but who is most entertaining. Oh, I'm sorry, Erica. I think we're trying to click at the same time. I'll let you do it.
Sorry, I inadvertently clicked, but here we go. So, getting some Perry Mason calls over there. Is it old school Perry Mason or current day Perry Mason? I haven't watched either, but I probably should.
And totally Thor or Drax for the hot dog sandwich.
Oh my goodness! I just realized that if you try and get into one of these debates with Drax, it would never end.
No.
Ask Drax if ketchup is a smoothie, and he will explain to you everything that happens when you make ketchup.
All right. How's the votes on Facebook, Erica?
Facebook right now, it used to be tied, but it looks like someone might have unliked their comment. So we've got AC leading by 1 vote.
Oh no, that's a fallacy then.
Okay, we got.
Keep in mind, anybody that's voting for AC,
1 for Scotty here.
Anybody that's voting for AC at this point is voting against Stan Lee. He said he was an old man and useless. They're voting against the man that created the Marvel Cinematic Universe with his mind.
There we go.
I hate
they may have gone with what the battle was, but who's the greatest character? Stan Lee played multiple characters, so it would possibly not be taken as playing one character.
Well, he was the Watcher, technically.
Technically, it has been suggested.
Yeah, was that made official or is that like the Pixar theory? We don't know for sure.
And okay, so I think we're calling that for AC.
Looks like it.
I got AC's in the lead by 1 over here, and on Facebook he's in the lead
By 1.
There goes to AC. AC has won that battle. We're now going to be
Ridiculous.
going over. We don't have an AJ at this point.
No, I think AJ is still trying to connect. He doesn't have a second device that he can try connecting from, and he's been having trouble on his phone. So, real quick, if anyone wants to drive to AJ's house and lend him a laptop, we would super appreciate it. I don't know where he lives, but yeah.
Does anybody have Prime? We have Prime. We can send one over right now.
All right. The Prime in his neighborhood takes at least 2 days. AJ's choice was Nebula. And he's facing off against Clif Knight's Captain Marvel.
Ooh.
Whoop, I'm not sure why that happened. There we go. We're back on screen. Cliff will give you a chance to go first on the positive round, and if AJ is back, he gets to go on his positive round. If he's not back, I will try to wing it.
Captain Marvel, I'm sure you can all agree, Captain Marvel is the best character in the entire universe. She's the one that is super OP compared to most of the other characters. She doesn't need a spaceship to get around. She changed her haircut. She's the only one with style, you guys. Style and fashion forwardness. So that just takes it from me.
Style, fashion forward. Erica, you've got control of the screen, and you'll have to put in the other hashtag. We're going to be talking about Nebula as is it the coolest or the best? The best character in the Marvel universe. And Nebula, pretty sure Kurt is thinking it's easy in blue, but it's not easy in green because it has not been easy for Nebula. She truly has the best redemption arc. She has the more reason to be angry than the Hulk. She's got more power, possibly than most anyone, except for Captain Marvel. But Captain Marvel truly, or that power, he was just beside an explosion. Nebula actually worked to get that power. I think that's why Nebula is the best character, because not only is she's been having people piss in her cornflakes since she started, she has to have a robotic voice like I do right now.
All right, let's get your votes in. Hashtags are up. You may have seen I put hashtag AJ and Paul P because it's really a team effort, a dual effort. So yeah, get your votes in, everybody. Spam us with comments on YouTube, Twitch, or Periscope, or just go ahead and hit like on either one of those comics' names on Facebook. Ooh, Sean, you were very correct. Cliff is ignoring Cliff's first choice.
Why didn't I get to go against Captain? So much I want to say against Captain Marvel.
What?
It's very hard to.
You and I are polar opposites. Because
It's very hard to hold my tongue over here.
Oh
All
man.
right, Scotty, I'm going to go negative against Captain Marvel. Do you want to shoot me a message on
Okay.
Facebook Messenger?
All right.
I am adding her fashion forwardness to all of her power. I'm not saying it's her whole power.
All right. In the meantime, get your votes in. We want to see those votes, people. I think I'll be counting all the votes since Paul is technically debating this one. But that's okay. Honestly, I'm glad because I wouldn't want to say anything negative about Captain Marvel. I'm wearing Captain Marvel socks right now, so that style. Yeah, no, also, I don't know. I feel like there's so much to be said about Nebula, but if you were like, hey, Erica, what do you like about Nebula? I would have been like, I don't know, man.
Karen
Like
Gillian.
lots of things.
Yeah, she was great in Doctor Who, with the best doctor at that.
All right, so right now we've got a vote for AJ. We've got a vote for Paul J. And we've got 2 votes for Cliff. Technically, this one's against Autotune, but it still counts as a vote for Cliff. And let me just go over to Facebook and see. Facebook, AJ, and Paul are leading by 2 votes. So I think I got to give that round to AJ/Paul. So we are going to move on to the negative round. And Cliff, if I remember the rules correctly, you're going first.
Okay, I understand that Nebula's been through a lot. She's worked for her power, but she also worked directly for the bad guy. And actually, in the last movie, she's the reason he even shows up to fuck with their plans anyway. Yet, to be honest, they would have been so much better off without her. Like, she was falling apart in the first movie. Why do I need a walking iPhone to help me out if I've got Captain Marvel? No. No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay,
All right.
Erica's going to be putting up the hashtags, and I get to now be negative about Captain Marvel. So just let me check the message from Scotty Mars. Yeah, all right. First off, he says that she was very wooden, has the personality of a dying moth, and she fighting the good guys. Hold it, Thanos is the good guy. I'm not exactly sure what Scotty's trying to get me to say here. But I do want to point out with the fact that she has all that power, all that great, forward fashion sets, etc. She stole a guy's bike for no other reason than the fact that he was a little bit of a dick. I mean, what kind of hero just goes and steals somebody's bike? Nebula always had a reason why she hated her sister. Always had a reason why she hated her dad. Because they're both dumb dicks to her. I don't know what dicks features heavily in this argument. It's supposed to be like anti-Captain Marvel, but it's very much pro Nebula at this point because I think Captain Marvel is somebody who's abused her powers and has not really thought about it. Possibly at the end, just oh shit, I've been in. I better be good to the Skrulls. Richards would be happy.
All right, let's see your votes. And if I may, Paul, everything you just said would definitely resonate very much with a certain segment of YouTube commenters. If Brie Larson's YouTube channel is any proof of that.
And when I meant just to clarify that she fought the good guy, I'm talking in her movie where they did that little switcheroo at the end. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody that hasn't seen a movie. Face it though, if you haven't watched a movie, it's been out for 5 years. You're not going to. But not Thanos.
The cat?
The Scree.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something negative about that No Doubt song, at which point I would have to throw hands.
Oh, that was the most beating over your head moment of any film ever.
No, it was awesome. You were not a little girl in the 90s, so you don't get an opinion about that.
No. I was a little girl in the 80s, and it was fun.
I feel very guilty about how the fact that I'm totally not prepared for any of this. I really hope AJ is okay.
All right. Ooh, you just got called a Thanos apologist by Sean Griffin.
Oh.
And I think if anyone would know, it would be our resident space scientist. I don't remember what Sean's job title is, so let's just call him a space scientist. And oh, hey, Emily stands with me. Emily agrees. Thank you, Emily. Nebula's character was deep and profound, kind of like a real Nebula. That's deep. That in itself is deep.
And she also blew up like a real Nebula, so.
Oh, snap. All right, so if we start counting votes. If we start counting votes, it looks like people hate Captain Marvel because AJ and Paul are leading by 2 votes on Facebook, and elsewhere
Man.
are.
Everybody's loving Nebula. Apparently everyone's all Blue Lives Matter in here. This is weird.
I'm actually seeing it's 3-1 on the other.
3 for Cliff, and let's see. I'm sorry, Paul. You were saying?
He's leading by 2 on the other platforms.
Ooh, all right. In that case, is it a tie? If you're leading by 2 on Facebook. I'm not great at math, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah,
Sounds
that
right.
would make it a tie. That would make it a tie.
Ooh.
And
So I guess that means, Paul, can we call this as too close to call? No points awarded. I know we don't want to because we've done that like 17 times tonight.
right. So yeah, you are the scorekeeper. So I don't know if he's going to pop in and take it for the. Nope, I guess he's not popping in. That means we are moving over to a free-for-all round. Positive, negative, just be entertaining. And Erica, you choose who goes first, but I think it's me because Cliff went first the last time.
That would be correct. So Paul, if you don't mind going first.
I mind, but I'm gonna have to do it. That's the rules. Like, who the hell wrote those freaking rules anyway? Oh, that was me. So I'm playing. All right, it's just to be I don't fully. I know I'm a nerd, but I sometimes forget how nerdy my friends are. Like I'm just working on just being entertainment. I'm leaving that argument in Nebula and Captain Marvel alone because I went back to Nova Scotia. I was with my friend and I made the mistake of saying that I thought Iron Man had the best technology, and one of my friends just flipped out, just completely flipped out. He goes, whoa, you said Iron Man has the best technology? No way, man. Batman's got the best technology. I'm going, what are you kidding? Like Iron Man's got can do anything. He's got the Batmobile, he's got the Batmobile, he's got the Batplane, he's got all of the technology that beats that suit. I'm going, yeah, you're not wearing the Batmobile, dude. But no, dude, you get that Bat belt, right? That Bat belt, right? That no matter what kind of trouble you can just MacGyver stuff out of, right? To pull it all out and you can get yourself out of trouble. Dude, all right? Let's put it in technological terms. If Batman has got the best technology, there's the rebuttal. It's a 2-word rebuttal, hyphenated 1-word rebuttal. Bat signal. Cave. How does he see that bat signal? What happens if they need him during the day? Right? What happens if there's no clouds that night? Right? Is that the bat signal or a new club opening? Like, screw you and the little boy in green tights that you wrote in on.
Paul, unfortunately for you, the clearest part of that argument was that last sentence, or maybe fortunately for you. Anyways, let's move on. I was going to say Cliff, let's hear your arguments.
Okay, Batman's one of my favorite characters as well, but he cannot match the absolute awesomeness that is Marvel as a character and also as a power player, because the original Captain Marvel was a man who then handed it off to a woman. So now this character is progressive and everything. You can't talk about any more of an arc than that. Also, she was partly taught by Samuel L. Jackson. That makes her part Jedi now, guys. Like, the entire thing connects, and I'm sorry, Batman and his ninja skills cannot beat that.
There's so much I want to say.
Okay.
Somebody's supposed to have a stroke.
Get your votes in. The hashtags are up, so start spamming. If you're on Facebook, feel free to like the comments.
So much I want to say.
We will let you have opinions later, Scotty.
How much longer? Something's going to pop up in here.
We can have a private call later on. Let's do that.
But just for now, I'd just like to thank Sean Griffin for telling me that space scientist is acceptable. Thank you. Science is not my strong point, so I just tend to call everything a science. One time I made some new friends in a bar, and they tried to have me guess what their job was, just because, alcohol. And all they told me was that they practiced a science. And I tried to guess as many sciences as I could. I was like, are you a biologist? Are you whatever? And I thought I knew a lot of sciences because I am actually friends with, if you guys have seen that guy on YouTube who creates pop song parodies that are about different branches of science.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's great.
ASAP Science, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah, he's great. So I was like, I watched a bunch of his videos. Let me name all of these sciences. Guess what their science was? Meteorology. So disappointed that I hadn't guessed it, that I came this close to saying that's not a science.
The pseudoscience at best.
No, that's astrology.
Yeah, I was going to say that's astrology.
Erica, you could say it's a bit over your head.
Nothing goes over my head. I have very fast reflexes.
I would catch it.
All right, Drax. Let's bring up the Drax jokes. Let's see. How's the votes doing, Erica?
Sean is asking who he needs to vote for, so Scotty can rant about Captain Marvel. I don't know the rules of BattleCOM well enough to tell you.
There was so much there. There was Captain Marvel stuff I need to say. There was Batman stuff I needed. There was too much there. I had an aneurysm.
We've got a vote for AJ and a vote for Cliff on YouTube, so that's tied. Let me go over to Facebook and see what things are looking like. Looks like Facebook, we've got 2 votes for Cliff. Excuse me.
And there was a vote for me before the hashtag actually went up on YouTube.
Was there? Oh, there's Paul gets an A for effort, I think, question mark. Which, does that tie this up? Oh, snap.
No, a new vote just came in for Cliff afterwards. So.
Did it? How come you're seeing it and I'm not seeing it? Hang on. Let's do this.
That's when you sorry.
All right, so.
It's kind of hard in the big chair, isn't it, Erica?
Math is hard. It looks like Cliff is leading by 1 vote. Can I call it?
Yes, you can definitely call it.
All right. In that case, we've got a red ball of awesome for Paul / AJ and a red ball of awesome for Cliff, which means
that Erica chooses it after this one. Erica, do you want to do the battle this time?
Do I want to do the battle this time?
Yeah, and then I'll count the votes.
Oh, okay. So I can say anything I want?
Well, you can be positive, negative, or just be entertaining, or roast battle attack upon Cliff.
All right. You know what? Let's do it. I am not going to roast battle Cliff because I don't know him well enough, and I feel like that would be hurtful. You know what? I don't think anyone was expecting me to say this, but I'm going to pull the ultimate nerd card and say the exact same thing that a bunch of dudes and a bunch of nerds have said about movie adaptations many, many times over. And that is that Captain Marvel is nowhere near as good in the movies as she is in the comics. If you've read the comics, you know. I am so sorry, movie Captain Marvel, but it's true.
Okay, I was waiting for the funny, but so Cliff, this is yours. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just, if I'm being mean to you, Erica, I apologize.
That's fine. It's just how you were programmed, Paul. I understand.
Cliff, I shouldn't piss off my stage manager.
Okay, so a lot of people, I don't know why people are fighting for Nebula like this. Like I said, she is a major plot hole. The whole reason why Thanos shows up in the last movie is because she went through some sort of, I don't know, OTA update and sold out their plan immediately. That is bullshit. In this situation, Thanos is Jeff Bezos. He's using technology to beat everyone at their own game and bring more oppression into the universe. This is really, it doesn't make any sense. Nebula herself admits that she is no match. Like, if you are a person who falls apart at the very first sign of pressure, I'm sorry. You don't need to be the best character in the universe.
Well, on that note,
the votes are up. Let's see the votes. Damn it! I now have something I want to say. Let's wait for the votes to come in because this will determine the winner.
So, and in the meantime, viewers, we're going to get to this after this round ends, but start thinking of who you think the best character in the MCU is. You don't need to post it in the comments just yet, because right now we want your votes. Also, if you agree with me, you don't have to vote for me, but just please explain to people that, like, you know, Captain Marvel in the comics, like, yes, Goose is a great reference and a great name for a cat, but, like, she named her cat after Chewbacca in the comics. She, like, loves Star Wars and, like, Sass is Iron Man.
It's not like Disney doesn't own Star Wars.
True.
And Cliff, excellent use of OTA.
Ontario Transit?
Ottawa Transit Authority. No, it's the OTC. Never mind. Scott, when was the last time you were at Disneyland?
Last time I was there was January. I was there for. I'm a typical runner now. I was there because I was running a half marathon. But yeah, that's why that was the last time. And I don't know. I want to go now. I don't care. I'll go. I need me some Haunted Mansion in my life.
Yes, that is also my favorite ride. We finally find something we have in common. All right. Yay.
The Ghostbusters reboot.
All right, I do. As much as
Oh God, don't get me started on that. No, I actually enjoyed that.
Should have figured.
Yeah, but it wasn't to the level of the other Ghostbusters. And I'm saying this. I like Old Bear, love the Old Bear, I love Atomic Blonde. I love Bridesmaids. Basically, crew made Ghostbusters, but it didn't feel as good.
No, it definitely
I
did.
just real quick share my screen and pull up the old man yells at cloud meme.
What are you talking about me?
You know what? I'm gonna leave that up to mystery.
There's lots of things I can praise. I'm way funnier when I'm not praising things, but
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of Cliff votes in here.
Facebook is also going to Cliff, so I mean that's okay. I will gladly admit defeat. That
I
means
feel so bad. AJ's not even here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can I?
Well, the thing is that way Erica and I can feel that you haven't beat us. You've actually beaten AJ. So
that
we
would
have
feel
no
even worse.
I do want to point out. I do want to point out about how much Captain Marvel and the rest of the MCU were dicks, because when Nebula was captured and replaced by her earlier self before she grew a heart like the Tin Man, she they none of them realized that she was replaced. None of the plot.
Yeah.
They're all fucking to Nebula, and Nebula was trying to do the right thing. Some fucking heroes they are. I think we can say.
I would just like to point out that Captain Marvel didn't even come up with her name. They stole it from Shazam. So
Actually,
No,
incorrect.
it.
Incorrect. DC Comics bought the rights to the character after its initial creation, and then they had two divergent characters happening at the same time.
No,
the Marvel one is the original.
The Marvel one is not the original.
Also, but why are you DC Comics and you're... Anyways, you know what? Let's leave AC some stuff to argue about.
This was the hardest question because it was Marvel. And the movies are basically the AC/DC of superhero films, where they all are the same, basically, with a little note different here and there.
When the formula works, the formula works.
I thought you were going to say they're too long.
That too.
And has anyone said what they think is the best character? Because we've got one final battle to
Yeah,
happen.
we've got to get to the final battle, Paul. Come on, I was gonna.
All right, and yeah, I'm all confused because this is going to be the longest show we've ever done. AC is facing off against Cliff. And we're gonna, if AJ is not back for the final battle, the third battle, we're gonna have a three-way. That didn't sound right.
We're just see here. It's another website I need to go to for that. Just a second.
Three-way fight.
All right, you know what? Let's put a pin in this and just go into our final battle before we get a little too.
Going into the final battle, AC Valiante, with his choice of the Hulk, gets to go first on the positive round. AC.
Okay, so I mean, the Hulk is the best Marvel character, Marvel cinematic MCU character, because he's known as the strong one amongst a bunch of really, really strong people. And you know why he's known as the strong one? Because he carries the whole fucking Avengers team. I rest my case.
Cliff.
Okay, this makes sense. I will tell you that the Hulk, he's basically indestructible. He's very strong, but there are limits to his power, and there are ways that he can be beat. For instance, Captain Marvel could literally push him out into space and then have his inertia basically carry him until he reaches another obstacle, and then he has to come all the way back. You know, there's so much time that would elapse, you know, because of the theory of relativity, obviously, that she would be able to basically have an entire era of peace without him if she were to just fight smart, because he just can't fly. So what are we going to do? No.
There we are. I just want to highlight this comment.
Very true. Hashtags are up. Let's get your votes. Paul did just say vote, but it sounded more like Hal Ash, as one of you guys so eloquently put it earlier.
Hal Ash?
Hal Ash.
Ah.
Hell, I mean, there probably is a lot of Ash in Hell. I haven't personally been, at least not yet, but I'll send you guys a text.
Are you calling family devilish?
No. I wouldn't do that. Although I feel like back in the olden days, I would say, oh, but Paul, I have heard that joke you have about Sudbury, and it's the filthiest thing I've ever heard. So who knows? I was hoping for more laughter, but I think I'm the only person who's been subjected to Paul's joke about Sudbury, which it is a very long bit, and about halfway through it, I literally could not even look at him. I just put my head down on the table of the restaurant, and it was like we were playing Heads Up 7 Up. I just could not. I was like, you know what? Maybe if I don't see it, it'll go away. It's a great joke, but it is horrifying. Anyways, get your votes in.
Cliff is leading on the other platforms. How is he doing on Facebook?
He's leading by 1 vote on Facebook.
And there we go. Stephen. I don't know if that's making fun of Stephen King, Stephen Hawking, or me. But that is going to Cliff. Cliff has got the first point there.
All right, so we will move on to the negative round. Is that correct, Paul?
That is correct. AC is going first. And go, AC.
So, I mean, okay, so Cliff, you were talking about how she was very forward-thinking in her fashion, but all I see is a stupid outfit, okay? You know what else was forward-thinking in fashion? MC Hammer pants. Okay, and we all know how that worked out.
All right, Cliff, your turn to be negative.
I find it very weird that you would bring up pants. Because that's all the Hulk has going for him, okay? Is some purple stretchy pants. Look, this guy was doing the fucking, what are those jeggings? What are those sweatpants? Nobody knows. All we know is that it allows him to expand all the way out and then shrink back down to the size of a normal man and still be weird. He's wearing pregnancy pants. This guy has no style. Okay, no, it doesn't matter.
Vote! Get your votes up. The hashtags are up.
I need a fan in here.
All right, so I'm seeing hashtag comments for, oh, yeah, there they are. Never mind, there was just a bit of a delay. Get your votes in. Also, feel free to start sending us your comments about who you think is the best character in the MCU. I know who my choice is. I will reveal it whenever, I guess, somebody asks.
We don't know yet. I don't know the mentioning of the MC Hammer pants. So vote for Cliff for purple pants.
Wait, I just realized you guys haven't been able to see my shirt this entire time. There we go.
There we go. Rick and Morty reference.
Very nice.
That's the thing. You're checking out the other dimension or the other dimensional television just to pick the right answer. That's how you're able to keep the AJ Erica combination.
All right, that's what happens when you press enter a little bit too early. But
okay, AC is currently leading the other platform has been on Facebook.
On Facebook, we are tied.
And on the other platform, we have now tied up as well.
Ooh. All right. Can I just
and don't pull on the Superman's cape and don't mess with the Hulk pants.
I'm not sure why, but that sounded inappropriate. I feel like I'm the impropriety police tonight. Sorry, guys.
It's quite okay. My choice is Ned Leeds, the man in the chair, becomes the Hobgoblin. Also, Hawkeye, you want to fly a hoverboard.
All right. Also, Paul, can I pull up this comment from Emily, revealing that Sean didn't know who MC Hammer was?
Whoa.
Oh, and he works for NASA.
Like, no.
I hate to say this, but you said Trump hire.
I mean,
It makes sense because out in space, you literally can't touch this. So.
All right. How are we looking at the votes today, Erica?
looks like Facebook is still tied. And have we gotten any new votes in on our other platform?
No, we are tied. That's it. There's been no new movement. That was too close. Good call.
right.
Cliff, you get to go first on the free-for-all round.
Okay, so listen, the whole thing about the Hulk, you know what? I will give it to you. The first movie was inside the MCU because they were still trying to figure it out. I consider it part of them. You know, I like the idea that the Hulk can be this terrible person and he becomes a really smart guy later on. But isn't that kind of an argument for eugenics in a way? In a way, you know, we're using radiation, you know, to try and alter humanity so that they can be better. I don't think that that's something you guys as audience members want to root for. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's go for AC.
I mean, you just described like half of the MCU. Just pointing out the elephant in the room. Okay, so I mean, Captain Marvel, she's got some cool superpowers, I guess. But like you mentioned her like pushing the Hulk out of the way for a long time so that she can get a little bit of peace. Now, all I was hearing when you were saying that was she's just running away because she's too scared to fight the Hulk. And all she's doing is pushing away the inevitable.
All
I mean,
right. I didn't realize that was the end. The hashtags are up. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign, AC.
Oh no. He just loves Captain. He's like me. He's too biased. He loves Captain Marvel too much.
Also, the Captain Marvel power can be handed down, so they could just keep doing that shit.
So has anyone heard why how they're planning on introducing the X-Men to the Marvel universe?
Nothing concrete. Marvel's been really quiet lately. Really quiet.
Yeah. I kind of hope that they do it like that one episode of Lost, where they'll just like do a flashback to, you know, any random scene in any random MCU movie, and the camera just kind of pans over a little bit, and like the X-Men were there the entire time. You just couldn't see them because they were slightly off camera.
Yeah, they've been. I don't know. They've been too quiet. They skipped Comic-Con at home. They're not making any announcements.
Yeah, I don't know. There was that one cryptic thing from John Krasinski, which we'll see.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to get Fantastic Four in before they get X-Men in. I think
it's actually they're going to be tying it into the Snap, is what I've heard. Because if you read the X-Men all the way back, and Cliff has something to add to that.
That would actually be great. I wonder how the Snap would work on mutants like Wolverine and Deadpool. Would they regen and come back? How does that work?
Well, the thing is, it's in the Marvel universe, the comic book universe. It was actually the Celestials when they created the others. They also sort of left a like time bomb in the human genes, which would create mutants. And because they did that using the stones, what are they called?
The Infinity Stone?
Infinity Stones, yeah. Because they did that, and the fact that there's been 3 snaps on Earth in rapid succession is sort of kickstarting it, though they will grandfather in a couple older mutants that have been there but didn't uncover for so long, such as Magneto, such as Wolverine.
But they kind of paint themselves in a corner with that because they already have Scarlet Witch, who I know falls outside the realm, but is technically Magneto's daughter.
Right. I think that they're because they never mentioned her dad in that, and she does get her powers from the Power Stones.
Right.
So yeah, there's some information that was from a guy who claimed he had an insider information. We got a vote for Cliff over here. Still looking for votes.
Sorry, I'm laughing at a comment.
There it is. I'm old and I fear dementia, and that's why I want to get more viewers for this show so I can have a legacy.
The show belongs to Erica now.
I mean, I don't understand the rules of it, so
there are none.
I don't know. The only rule is there are no rules.
Exactly.
And have fun. Oh, damn it, there's 2. All right. The best MCU character is Maria Hill because of Robin Sparkles.
I accept.
How I Met Your Mother was an abomination. All right.
This is true.
I gotta say, out of all the shows that I've watched in the last 10 years, I feel like How I Met Your Mother is the one that aged the most poorly and the fastest. I am not planning on rewatching anytime soon, but
yes, I agree.
Exception.
How's the Facebook votes?
Facebook votes they were tied. Let me see. Looks like we're still tied.
And Cliff has 1 round.
Hey, that is 2 rounds for Cliff. So congratulations, Cliff. You've won 2 battles.
This took way too long.
It did.
Yeah, it definitely took way too long. And so that's why we're going on the 3rd round. We're going to make it a battle of 3 directions. So let's bring this on up. Let's get everybody in there. There we are. Hey, if you care to support this channel and support this show, anything that is donated within the next, we'll say 48 hours, will be split among all the performers you're seeing here, plus AJ, because he tried. And we now have the 3rd battle is, if you had a time machine, when would you go? The first battle would be Clif Knight going to Wally's world, as in the time of Wally. I don't know if you actually specify the word or not.
Yeah, we don't know that's real.
Oh, that name is wrong there, but Scotty Mars' choice is to go back in time to stop Greece. Is that wrong, Scotty?
No, that is 100% correct.
Okay. And AC's choice is to the year 3000. So we're going to do the positives, and then you guys get to vote for your favorite of all 3. Going first, because he's last of the screen, is AC Valiante.
Okay, so, I mean, like, I would just love to go to the future. I mean, I'm talking of, like, the distant future, the year 3000, because I'd finally get to know the answer to some of life's most difficult questions. So, like, for example, will they finally stop writing episodes of One Piece? Will there ever be a Half-Life 3? Will there ever be a Fantastic Four movie that doesn't suck? You know, the list goes on.
All right, Scotty, your positive round.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you had a time machine, there's a ton of places you could go, and there's the good ones, like, I'm going to go back and kill Hitler, or I'm going to go back and save JFK. I would save us all and go back and prevent the film Grease from being made. And you may go, how does that save us all? You've all heard those shitty songs ad nauseum. And it's too damn much. All right. Summer Lovin' happened way too damn long, not too fast.
Okay, Cliff.
Okay, if I had a time machine, very obviously, I cannot go back at any point in time. No, I only have the choice to go forward. Like I said, I would go forward to the year 2805 AD, which is when the movie WALL-E is set. If any of you guys remember that movie, all of the human race is located on a ship and going to another planet, a la Hitchhiker's Guide. I would be on there, and whilst everyone else is fat and sitting in a chair, I would be the most celebrated athlete slash dancer slash MMA fighter of all time. That's what I would do.
All right, let's see. The hashtags are up. Get your votes in. So it's got to be hashtag AC for AC's choice of the year 3000. Hashtag Scotty P for going back and stopping Greece, or hashtag Cliff P for Cliff saying going to the time of WALL-E on the ships, not the Earth, the ships.
And just so everybody remembers, Greece the movie, not the formation of the country. I don't need tzatziki thrown at me or anything like that.
And just some comments that we had missed earlier. It's a show, but Robin Sparkles was awesome, mainly because the Canadian references. I think that's the only reason Canadians jumped on this Robin Sparkles. Your mother gets from the Run for Its Money with Modern Fringe. And yeah, some of the funds will be going to getting me a better connection. Not necessarily a better mic, because this is a pretty sweet mic. I don't know.
Yeah, you just got to get off the dial-up, bud.
I have to. November 5th, 2-time machine, 1955.
He means 1955.
Yeah. And all right, Sean is die on the mountain.
I don't know what you said, Paul, but I'm going to assume it's about Michael B. Jordan.
Or emo Dr. Doom. One of the two.
Scotty, positive for the good of all mankind. On the money.
I'm here for us as a
seeing,
species.
I see 2 votes for Cliff, a vote for Scott. How are we doing on Facebook?
On Facebook, I've got a vote for Cliff and a vote for AC.
Okay, so that is going to Cliff. Cliff has the first point. Is Cliff going to sweep the entire BattleCOM sweep? We're going to see. We'll go with the negative rounds now. Negative is Scotty.
Oh crap! Okay.
Well, you get to be negative vote either of your choices.
Well, I'm going to go after both of them. Why the hell not? But first off, Cliff. 2 things about that. One, we don't even know that that's the future. You can't travel to make-believe time. It's not a fantasy machine. It's a time machine. Has to have happened. And, you know, AC wants to go to the year 3000 to get answers to these questions. Son, there's no answer. There's no answers to these questions. And some of them, we know the answer. They can't make a good Fantastic Four movie. And there's never going to be another Half-Life game. Let the dream die.
There we go. AC.
So, you guys, so you're talking about going back in time, right? But there's plenty of movies out there that warn us about how terrible it is to go back in time, right? Like I don't want to risk the possibility of going back in time and possibly like having sex with my mom. You know, I'd rather go to the future where that possibility is a lot less.
All right, Cliff, your chance to be negative.
Okay. AC, you think you're going to go forward and get the secrets to life? No. The exact same thing is going to be happening in the year 3000 as it is happening now. None of these will have answers. They will all just be put into a podcast form and debated back and forth forever. Okay? There's no answer there. Also, Scotty, you'd go back and stop Grease when Grease is the movie that paved the way for the Fast and the Furious franchise. Are you telling me you don't want The Rock to shine? No way. No way. And also, you'd go back in time but not stop the movie Jupiter Ascending. I've lost our respect. No way.
Vote. Get your votes up. It's going to be hashtag Scotty N or hashtag Clif N. Where did the hashtag ACN go? All right.
Not seeing it. I don't know. Oh no.
The stupidest thing.
Oh my gosh. I
Keep
feel
in
like
mind,
no
he
one
did
else-
say it was still a possibility. Like, just less. It's like if he can get her off the walker, he's good to go.
On another note, nobody asked who I think the best character is in the MCU, and I'm surprised no one said this on the show or in the comments. Guys, it's obviously Luis from the Ant-Man movies. Like,
Yes.
like, listen, having watched all of the movies and having seen them, I mean, they've been showing them on, yes, I have regular television. They've been showing them on regular TV relatively often. Legit, every time Ant-Man is on, I grab my phone and text literally every person I know so that they can watch those scenes at the beginning where Luis is just going, being Luis.
It's funny, Ant-Man looks the same on the big screen or the small screen. It doesn't matter.
You're right. I wonder why that is.
Because it probably was a made-for-TV movie at the beginning.
Oh, all right. Scotty negative because he's too. AC has abandoned.
I could say something. I'm going to be quiet.
Hey,
There we go. AC has a return from death from embarrassment.
And now I could say something else because he came back so quick. It's too much.
Where did he go?
The year 3000, obviously.
Don't you mean when did he go?
That is definitely what I was implying. You know what? I'd like to see at the start of the next phase of the Marvel movies being released is to have Luis explain everything that happened up until then.
I want that more than I want anything else in life.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
He can cause flashbacks with his voice.
I actually think what he does is he can make other people speak with his voice.
Yeah.
Still a superpower.
He's
Still
a
a
ventriloquist. He's a ventriloquist.
Okay, currently, how are the votes doing on Facebook? We have one vote in. Waiting for some more votes.
Facebook
Show
right
up.
now, Cliff is leading by 2 votes, and it's interesting that you say that because I know we had this vote for Scotty, but also, does this count as a vote for AC?
Hashtag. It does have the hashtag.
I think it's the creepiest vote.
hey, I'll take it.
Is that exactly what you said to your mom?
Oh
my God.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Well, I was going to say when he disappeared that she just got out of the shower. So I was just...
Oh.
The shower or the hot tub time machine? Which one?
Either or, she's wet and sultry.
Okay, at this point in time, I think we're going to have to call that.
Oh, Paul, I'm going to need you to say that again. I'm sorry.
The Facebook votes are, because we're about to call it.
All right. Facebook is the same. We've got Cliff leading by 2 votes.
Then Cliff has won the round in a full sweep.
Whoa.
Wow.
All of my preparation pays off for the first time in comedy ever.
Congratulations to Cliff. His first time ever doing BattleCOM. He has won the battlefield. Damn it, I want to chat about some stuff as well. Full sweep by Cliff. Cliff, do you have anything that you want to promote? And we were on another show earlier tonight.
You're gonna have to
do you have
say.
anything
You're gonna have
coming
to
up
say that again. Hang on.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
Right now, there's very a few shows happening, but I do post a funny video on my Instagram and my TikTok every day. You can find me Cliffy So Funny with underscores in between.
And oh, just a second. I don't think that's a picture of anyone's mom, but that was AJ.
That's AJ in the year
Yeah,
3000 with his mom.
That's AJ 3000.
NC Abrams is the one who's done the motion art that we have here for the BattleCOM logo. And we want to thank Tina Spirals. That's Tina Spirals on Twitter, who has provided us with some BattleCOM t-shirts that she has photos of her modeling the BattleCOM t-shirts. And thank you to Erica Taddeo very much. As warbly as I sound, she's keeping us all steady. AJ Young is at Motive Lacking on Twitter. Which is more fitting today. Never mind. Funny on Instagram is where you can find Clif Knight. If I'm not clear, somebody should be reading these instead of me.
Yes, allow me to reread those. Can you go back to the last slide and I will read them again? We can also post them in the comments if anyone wants. So you can follow AJ Young, who unfortunately had tech issues and had to leave the show early. We've got, so you can follow him at Motive Lacking on Twitter. Cliff, as he mentioned earlier, you can follow him on Instagram at Cliffy_so_funny. Next slide, please. Nope, that's previous slide.
Technology.
Here we go. You can follow Scotty Mars on Instagram at Scotty. Can you just provide us your handle, please?
It's at Scotty Mars Show. That's also the name of the podcast if you want something to shove in your ear hole.
All right. For your eye holes and your ear holes. And you can follow AC Valiante at Otaku Comedy Show on Twitter and Instagram. Is that correct?
Yep. That's
yes.
Right. We have a Facebook as well.
Oh, follow them also on Facebook, Otaku Comedy Show. Also, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at BattleCOM TV. You can also follow us /Paul and all of his undertakings. I forget what the word is that I'm looking for. YouTube.com/KickAshComedy and Twitch.tv/TagAmusements or TagAmusements. Not really sure which one it is. You can also follow Paul on Instagram and Twitter at PaulAshComedy.
Did I just get called an Undertaker?
He was my favorite wrestler growing up, so technically it's a compliment.
It's a compliment. Okay, and that is Tag Amusements. And on a serious note for the next thing, I just want to remind everyone that it's been 141 days since Breonna Taylor shot in her own home, and no charges have been laid against those who shot her. So please remember that Black Lives Matter, and that we keep that, keep the thought of that and the words of that moving forward until those people have been arrested. And on a serious note, just to put that out there, we're going to probably move off of Facebook and go to just move off of Facebook and Twitter. We're just going to go to YouTube and Twitch for a little bit of a quick after show, considering how long this show has been. So thank you very much for watching. We're just going to switch off.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We're going to switch off Facebook in case you couldn't hear Paul. Come follow us on Twitch or YouTube.
Yay!
All right.
Hey.
Ooh.
Thank you for having me, Paul.
Thank you,
My
everyone.
pleasure,
So
Cliff.
we
Great
are
job.
in the after show. So yes, thank you guys for doing the show. Thanks for being on the after show. Was there a bonus question? I just realized I forgot to ask before we got off Facebook.
A bonus question, plus we were running long, so that's why we didn't include a bonus question this time. But we do have one important question that needs to be asked. The battlers get to actually vote to see who they want to see come back next week, and if they're available. Is anyone not available next Friday? Check your calendars.
Yeah, check your schedules for next Friday. We want to see who's gonna come back and I want to say defend their title, but it's not necessarily a title. Just defend
Paul,
yourself.
Paul, you've known me long enough. I don't have a life.
yeah, you met somebody who married you since I've last reconnected. So I'm not sure what other life changes.
No, it's just the greatest con job ever pulled in mankind.
I want to see AJ.
Oh, you want to see AJ? All right, all right. Scotty, normally we do it with a point, but there is no AJ
Oh, yeah, we
here to
should-
point at.
Oh, yeah.
If you
Wanna
want
vote for AJ, give us a
point
thumbs
to
up.
Erica.
AJ.
Yeah, I think AJ should get a shot.
All right.
right.
Hopefully he has. I don't know if he'll be able to have a new computer by then, but hopefully we will see how that goes.
Where is he? Is he in Ottawa or something?
He's in Montreal with us.
Oh.
He needs to get that credit, son. Get himself to a Best Buy.
And Tim Rowcliffe switched to Twitch so he could keep following us.
Thanks, Tim.
Denny Leger did a thanks for the show before we moved away. And yes, thanks. I'm coming from the moon.
Yeah, you're still coming and going, Paul. I don't know. It's been weird.
All right, and I can see Scott who wants to giggle at that, but
What?
leave that alone.
There's one in every show. I have one Tobias moment every show.
It's hard for me to hold my tongue. It's dangerous.
There is. All right. Now, Cliff, Scotty in particular, I think I've talked to AC about this. What's your thoughts about the current status of the New Mutants movie?
You want to go first?
Are you interested or is this on either of your guys' radar?
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about it?
I didn't hear it at all.
The New Mutants.
Oh. I'm excited just because like X-Men seems to be able to like slowly get things righter the more that they get a chance, and a lot of times the studios just throw money in it. The thing I'm most scared of is if Hugh Jackman is not back, they're done.
Oh, sorry, Paul. Go ahead, bud.
I was going to say that Wolverine wasn't really part of the New Mutants, and the New Mutant story that they're presenting doesn't seem to have an in for him.
Done.
To make an appearance. And Cliff is done. I want to kind of say I don't think the X-Men is right as we went. For example, I'm actually was in it. How can you have a fight on a train without momentum? No sense of momentum at all. Like it's a train. It should be a fight with momentum, and they had none. It was falling apart for me. I really liked how they evolved into the the next or the First Class and all of those storylines, but then it just the last two movies just sort of dropped it. But Logan was great. I'll agree with that. But there's a lot of that I read about the New Mutants that has me very excited about it, and the trailers are looking awesome.
I was excited, but it's a go nowhere movie, because Disney's not going to continue that horror theme down the line. So as great as it may end up being, it's going to be a one and done.
But that's what movies used to be. And I think a movie that tells a story, that's what we used to go to theaters for. And it's based on an arc that Chris Claremont was writing. Chris Claremont and Bill Lipitz was doing the arc.
Oh, Paul, you're going to need to say that again. We got full robot Paul talking about someone named Chris.
Chris Claremont, I believe, wrote the Demon Bear storyline. And it was Bill Lipitz was doing the art.
I mean,
and I know if I say Sikowitz, it sounds like it's being modulated just by the name.
If the reshoots wrap it up, then great. But if they left it open, because it was supposed to be the start of a new franchise at Fox, so if the reshoots wrap it up, then it'll stand on its own. But if they kind of left it open ended, then it's going to be disappointing.
Very few of the reshoots actually got done. When they actually aired it to a test screening, it scored the highest of any of their movies. did, but a lot of people mentioned, oh, it has a very horror vibe in the notes. And at that time, it was a big financial success. So they said, the producers, the executive, the higher ups went, oh, it's horror, then we have to make it look like more like it. And they enforced the rewrites and script changes and asked for the film changes. But because the actors were also busy, they never really got a lot of those done. And then you can't hear me.
No. If you see my head shaking more, like if I get more and more bobblehead, it's 'cause your voice is cutting out more and more.
All right, you guys talked about WandaVision or oops.
I'm not sure about
I've got time to
WandaVision.
get a private chat.
I'm not sure about that. I need to see more before I get excited or disinterested.
Agreed. I feel like I haven't seen much. I feel like there's probably like some stuff going on in the concept or something that they're trying to keep under wraps so that it's, I don't know, like a bigger shocker when we actually watch it. But there isn't much that you can really do about a show that's on streaming because the people who like sit down and watch the entire season in like 2 days are going to spoil it for everyone else anyway.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, they'll probably release all the Marvel shows the same way they did in Mandalorian, right? Weekly.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're going to dump them all out at once, but we'll get an episode a week. But with all those Marvel shows, like WandaVision, Loki, any of them, I mean, I love Loki, but, you know, we really haven't seen anything yet. So it's hard to say what it's going to be. Like, how is it going to look?
I think weekly is a good, battle plan because we need something to fill the hole that is left by Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones created that hole with that final season. Dear God.
Of course, but I mean, like that. that's how original TV used to be, you know.
Yeah.
But like just now, we know that they have it all done already, you know. But they got to dole it out to us so that there's something for you to talk about with your weird coworker that doesn't want to make eye contact. You need to find some middle ground.
Well, and it's also the argument I used to have with friends of mine that would get like a new book, like a new Stephen King book would come out, and they would read it in like a night, and I'd be like, "Don't you want to enjoy it? Like, don't you want to savor it at all?" And also, Stephen King books are like 5,000 pages. What did you take Adderall? Like, what the hell? But like, yeah, so weekly definitely is the way to go, I think.
Speaking of Stephen King, they actually made a show based on The Stand. At least they took the time to expand on that, like The Stand is like 1,000 pages plus. Right?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
great. It's a great book, but it actually makes sense that they would serialize it. And I would actually really want to see a Dark Tower series that doesn't suck.
I was just about to ask you that.
That'd be good. I mean, yeah, The Stand, you have to serialize. You could beat someone to death with The Stand, and they need the serial's the right thing, but Dark Tower would be great as a show. I thought that was the plan, though.
I've never read it. Is there an audiobook or something? Because
of The Stand?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably many,
in
all honesty.
I can't, I'm the worst. I can't sit down and read anymore. I'm always doing dishes or something else. Like sitting down and focusing on a book, I'm like, nah, that's played out. I'm not doing that.
I just pull up. Sean said, I bet Paul is making some incredibly constant arguments that we'll never know.
Much like most I've known Paul, he's just talking to himself.
We do have a private chat in the green room where Paul said basically the same stuff about New Mutants that he said either on the Battle Report this week or on last week's after show. So just as a reminder, it did well with test audiences, but it was more of a horror movie. And then, I don't know, horror movie stuff. Someone can fill in the blanks. I don't watch scary movies. I'm too much of a baby.
I feel like New Mutants is Paul's like axe to grind.
So yeah, they ordered script changes. And as Paul says, most of the reshoots didn't get done because all the actors were so busy elsewhere. So I don't know. You can blame Maisie Williams for posting too much on Instagram, I guess. I don't know.
I guess it'll be curious. And Paul might disagree with this, but the way Disney's bumped it around, I don't think it's a high priority for them. Despite it testing well and stuff like that, I just don't think they care.
I mean, now that there's been quite a few months interruption in movie production, I wonder how that's going to affect the release schedule. Obviously, they've already made some changes to it, but I feel like they're gonna have empty weekends that they'll need to fill. So maybe that'll be good news.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think it's going to let some movies shine for sure. We may get back to the day of if you go back and look at old box office receipts, you'll see Ghostbusters was #1 for 2 months. We may get back to that where a movie kind of dominates, and it's not a rarity where you're like, holy shit, it's 4 weeks and that movie's still #1. It's just fact of life because there hasn't been much else released.
True, I hadn't thought about that.
Okay, guys, actually, I've got to dip out. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you, Cliff.
Enjoy yourself. Hopefully, I can do this again sometime.
Yes,
Peace.
congratulations on your win.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Paul, how are you sounding now?
I'm not sure. Does that sound better?
No.
Only slightly. Still very robot.
Yeah. No, you're right. They're not dumping it to streaming. So it will do well in theaters, I think, but I just don't think it's a priority for them. I think,
I think it's going to be strong enough that it's going to pull people into theaters, because that's going to be a kind of worry for them, is that with so many people doing this at home, so many people buying TVs, they don't see it going to theaters as a special event anymore. So they need to make sure it's a strong movie that's in the theater to get people out there. And I mean, they're basically buying reshoots and not dumping any more money in it. They paid for it already, but they think it's good enough that it's going to be worthwhile as a draw.
Yeah, I mean, and they do need to do that for theater. That's why they keep pushing Tenet back and Wonder Woman 84 back, and these movies that are gonna draw people, because I mean, there's no point in dumping those on streaming. And that I just, like I said, my big thing with New Mutants is I just don't know what Disney's commitment is to it post this film, because they kind of inherited it, and then they obviously are going to have their own plan for mutants going forward in the MCU. So it's kind of a gray area right now.
I think it would benefit them if they could at least introduce the idea of the New Mutants and the characters, so when they do recast them, there will be an interest and a bit more knowledge. Because I mean, the New Mutants they were kind of big. I mean, they involved Cable. They were one of the X books. So just the idea of expanding them a little bit into the cinematic universe, just a testing waters, the toe of the water. It just lost me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the same issue that I think they have with Deadpool, right? I mean, there's no set Deadpool 3 plan right now because they don't know what to do with Deadpool. They'd love to put him in the MCU, but if you suddenly put a PG Deadpool, it's going to be boring as hell. And then if you try to do PG in an Avengers movie and R-rated Deadpool movie, kids are going to want to watch the R-rated Deadpool movie, and it's just going to create nightmare for parents. So I think they're sitting there with Deadpool right now going what the fuck do we do? He makes money, but what do we do? So let's talk about the Snyder Cut.
I was just about to pull up that comment. So Tim Rowcliffe is saying they need to do a Khazar movie, dinosaurs, mutants, and Tarzan. I don't know anything about this. Someone please tell me all about it.
I don't know about that either.
Bizarre.
Yes, Mulan. Sorry, I saw Emily say Mulan.
Yes, and we also mentioned Mulan is one of the major releases.
Movie looks phenomenal.
It does.
Yeah,
it's Khazar, not Khazar, but it's
I knew that.
It's it's Khazar the boy. Basically, it was Marvel's version of Command, because if that was a DC character. And Scotty is going, how? He doesn't know DC as well as he thought he did.
Who, me? What character did you reference?
Command
the Last Boy?
Yeah, that's what Khazar was Marvel's version of that.
Oh, I just don't know the Marvel version of that because it's Marvel and meh. Meh.
Good night, Sean.
Good night, Sean.
Night, Sean.
We are well over 2 hours, so it makes sense that we are going to be out of here soon. And I know I'm going to go and watch the Umbrella Academy, because that hit the streaming services today. And I was hoping that this would end up being a little bit of a better mix. The technical issues of driving me nuts. I actually, yeah.
If your internet's that bad, you're not going to be able to stream the Umbrella Academy.
No, I hope you get to see it.
I watched an episode and a half already before the show.
Okay, I thought you were going to say during the show.
based on my votes, just during my sets.
No, Scotty, we want to have you back. If you want to come back, we will definitely want to have you back. AC as well. I want to have you back. Erica, I count on you being back. I'm no longer sharing screen, so I should be putting less stuff. I'm not sure exactly. I think I'm going to just take apart my computer and thoroughly clean it, make sure everything is attached properly. Because I have speed test does fairly well, so I shouldn't be having an issue. And I've just got I got a Focusrite so I have like an internal sound phase, and it doesn't seem to be doing great.
We're just going to assume that what you're saying is full sentences.
You know what, Paul? I agree.
Yes. All right. Anyway, on that note, should we say goodnight to all of our beloved viewers?
Yes.
All right. Good night, viewers.
Bye. Good night.
Thanks for watching our show.
Release the error cut.